to Vets Play D&D with us, the Vets that play D&D. My name is Brandon. I'll be your DM tonight. And we have the majority of our crew with us tonight. Up in that top left corner, you see Jordan playing the Paladin Fate Tetheala. Next to Jordan is Sam playing the Barbarian Tashi. Below Sam, we have Liv playing the Warlock Petra. It's Alaric A. Petra A. I overthink it and get it wrong every time. Jessie will not be joining us tonight. She has like life stuff. I don't know. Whatever. I guess she wants to like actually do good in school and stuff. And she's giving a speech tomorrow in front of a lot of really important people. So we'd like to wish her luck. Go, Jessie. Not that you need the luck. But she plays the Ranger Rupus. I will be stepping in and doing my poor attempt at playing Rupus. Down below Jessie is Hunter playing the Druid Stony. Next to him is Adam playing the Warlock Wagat. And bringing up the rear is Emmy playing the Barbarian Emil. Now, usually we jump right into it, but tonight we're going to start on a slightly more somber note, and I'm going to hand the floor over to Jordan.
Yeah, so we want to take some time out from this session to remember one of our older players, Juwon. He was one of the originating virtual D&D members for SVL, and he was really integral to a lot of our lives and this office. Many people if you've watched the episodes or watched YouTube, you'll know him as Megdit or Tankred, who had a really obnoxious yet really hilarious voice mod, Dragonborn Metallic-y Screech. And the thing with Juwon is that he was really known for his cheery demeanor, a really infectious, goofy smile, and just an all-around positive person. He made our group a lot better. So our hearts go out to his mom and his sister, who are left in the wake of this really, really bad tragedy. And if they decide to watch or ever want to know about Juwon and how he was with our office, he was loved by his friends and colleagues and showed a kindness that we all can continue to strive to achieve. And with that, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence before we begin this episode, which is in honor of Juwon. Tell Valhalla, brother. Thank you, everybody. Brandon, that's back to your show.
Yeah, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah, we're all
I
crying.
can't think of a better way to honor him than to roll some dice.
Yeah. I was actually just talking to one of our other, Amy. I was just talking to her before this, and we were just sharing some memories about him. And he was one of the most pleasant people you would ever run into. He would drop anything to help you out. He would just be like, I've got you. I'm here for you. And goofy guy in the best possible way. And he made D&D so much fun. And so let's have some fun for him. All right. And as usual, I'll start off by saying viewer discretion is advised when watching the show. This campaign includes settings and concepts about war, inequity, and conflict that may make some viewers uncomfortable. Additionally, it is being played by U.S. military veterans, and the content sometimes reflects that. We're not for everybody. Finally, the views and opinions expressed by individuals in this recording are solely the views and opinions of the individuals expressing them, and are not necessarily the views or opinions shared by or reflective of those held by the University of Washington, Department of Veteran Affairs, or veterans as a whole. So, that's that. Now, last time when we met, our players had run around the tower, going to vendors and learning things, trading things, running into really cranky wizard ladies. And they came back to their briefing to find a young girl, approximately 14 years old, sitting and chatting with Defender Hathama. The girl introduced herself as Jaina and asked if the party would be able to escort her to look for a friend that was missing. After a little bit of cajoling, they acquiesced. Liv, what do you have?
I just want to clarify that she introduced herself as, "Oh, I'm Jaina," which is very different from "I'm Jaina."
I mean, you're not wrong. But she did give her name, and after some serious checking on some serious vibe checks, the party agreed to accompany Jaina to the village of Shorten to see if they couldn't find her missing friend. They arrived there deep in the evening, deep in the night, and found the village in full swing. Villagers walking around, going about their daily tasks, but in a very hurried and rapid manner, spending as little time outdoors as they could. They were informed that there was some sort of beast that was ravaging the population, and that people were afraid to be outdoors. They ran into a man named Roland, who is the interim mayor, who is trying to take care of this village as it goes through this crisis. And as they were all entering the tavern to sit with Roland, horror struck. Villagers out in the square began to fall, slashed to ribbons by an unseen force as a light sprang up, a flame of some sort sprang up next to one of the villagers. And as the embers from the flame faded, 3 villagers were left broken and dead on the ground, one slashed from neck down to hip, one beheaded, and one tossed in the air and crushed. Our players saw nothing that did it and stood in shock.
Forget his final words.
Oh, that he never got to deliver his final load?
Yeah.
Indeed, he never got to, and the poor villager that walked them to meet Roland never got to deliver his wood. And that is where we left off, with the gruesome sight and Roland standing slack-jawed behind you. What do you do?
Jesus Christ!
Who?
Y'all saw that too,
Is there-
right?
Hey, sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Did y'all see that? Everybody saw that, right?
Petra stops slithering along the wall, yellow wallpaper style, and gets. You guys, is there anyone who doesn't know about the yellow wallpaper?
I don't. What is the yellow wallpaper?
All right. I don't have time to explain the yellow wallpaper right now, but you guys all need to Google the yellow wallpaper. It's a sophomore English class classic, and it is about female insanity. And at the end of it, she is like crawling along the perimeter of the room because she believes that she is the woman trapped behind the wallpaper that she started hallucinating. So Petra was crawling around because Tashi told her that sometimes there's like cool unfinished bits of architecture from that low down perspective. Petra stops her slithering and gets to her feet in shock and horror. Also, Brandon, point of inquiry. We've already determined that there are both Jews and Mormons in Sudanal. What about in the Safral Empire? Jews and Mormons, yay or nay?
You know what? That is yet to be determined. You'll have to do some investigating, won't you?
Oh, I certainly will. Okay. All right. I'll look into it later.
Stoney clarifies, Jesus Christ was a fellow farmer who just did these outrageous things that I just really carpenter, just every once in a while, just yell his name out just to remember him and his wonky antics. Nothing like this.
Just to remember his glory.
Petra says, may his memory be a blessing. That is a traditional Jewish death consolation phrase, in case anyone's wondering.
He's definitely alive still.
What?
Yeah, he's just carpenting back at a old village. Stoney is going to try to apply medical assistance to one of them somehow. He's just going to go over their bodies and see if there's any chance.
You're going outside.
I think they're all dead. I don't think that's...
You're gonna go outside with the invisible monsters.
Stoney's in a coma for the past 8 hours. He just woke up, so maybe he'll stay inside then.
Hey, Stoney, don't Don't go out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Please, Stony, if you would stay inside, that would be great. I request your presence.
Okay, Stoney's just staring at the bodies. He's got a 1,000-yard stare going on.
Doing that again.
Rollins just standing there slack-jawed, puts his hands to his head. Esme? Misa? Semi? Oh. No. This has to stop.
I think
He
it
sits
is
down and
about
starts
time that
rocking.
you explained. What exactly is going on in this town?
That is what's going on. I don't remember what his accent was supposed to be. Bear with me. I'm not in the best place. So that's his accent today. That is what's going on.
Is
Cause
that the same
Scottish.
reason why you're the interim mayor?
Yes. John the mayor was one of the first to go. Since then, the people have looked to me. Because apparently, since I run a forge, I can run a town. But I keep telling them, I'm not up to this task. I'm sorry. Takes a moment to compose himself. Walks over to the bar. Reaches behind it, pulls out a keg and sets it on the counter. Grabs a mug. Just fills it up. Starts drinking.
We're safe inside though, right?
As long as it's dark.
Like, no, we can't light any of these torches.
Stoney can't see in the dark, so he immediately trips on the table and things just go clattering.
Wait, isn't there like there's like a fire and stuff, right? It's like well lit
Oh.
inside the bar.
So
Is
that,
it?
that fire was is not actually crackling right now. I couldn't turn it off with this app, so right now you'll see there's no torches. Nothing's actually lit. The only light is coming in from the slight moonlight spilling in through the door here. He says if we close the door, we might be able to risk a small fire if we cover all the windows. But we're not sure. We just haven't been risking it.
How long y'all been living like this?
Wait,
3 weeks since the quake.
the thing's invisible out there?
What was that?
The thing out there is invisible?
We've never seen it. Did you see it?
Oh no.
Oh.
But let me try something. Stoney with the confidence of an idiot.
Said like every true soldier.
Heyo.
Were the
Hey, I
bodies
resemble that
over
remark.
by the windows?
I know.
What's that?
The bodies over by the windows?
No, the bodies are here outside.
Okay. Stoney's gonna go ahead and walk over towards the door. And he's just gonna see if there's any like footprints or anything. He wants to roll perception to see if he can see any evidence of a being around.
Perception. So you're trying to perceive what? Like
He's trying
sounds
to
and stuff?
perceive there's an invisible thing in a certain area. Not even like a specific area, just like a range of areas. Like if he hears like a scrape or a clatter or
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and
nothing.
roll perception.
Oh, I have a +4 to perception. Who knew? That's a 13.
You detect the slight sound of the dripping of some viscous solution falling maybe a couple of inches. You can hear the slow escape of some gases from the remnants of the lungs of the fallen. You hear sobbing in the distance from muffled sobbing from one of the houses. You can even hear Roland's hand shaking, the ale sloshing in his mug. Other than that, nothing. Not a chirp, not a cricket, not a sound of a frog, not even a breath of wind.
All right, screw it. Stone is casting Fairy Fire centered on this guy.
Great.
So each object in a 20-foot range is outlined in blue, green, or violet. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails the dexterity throw. So it includes invisible creatures.
The 3 bodies become outlined in light.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Well, that didn't work. I'm out of ideas.
I'm gonna look at Fight and be like, Fight, are you able to sense anything bad around here?
Want me to look for fiend or celestials? Because that's all I'm good for.
Maybe.
Alright. Fate's gonna cast Divine Sense to see if there's any fiends, celestials, baddies, all that good stuff in the world.
Simultaneously, Petra is going to cast Detect Magic, which is the thing she can do at will now.
And what's the range on both of those?
10 meters. 30 feet. So it says both.
Does it say 10 meters?
It says 10 meters, comma 30 feet.
Listen,
Which
always
I
go
think
with the freedom units.
We could interpret that as 10 meters and 30 feet.
No.
Oh, so
60
60 feet.
No, you could not.
Damn it. Nice try. Nice try.
And Fate, the range for yours?
I think it is also 30. It might be 60.
I believe so. I just want to double check. Either way, neither of you detect
60.
anything. Well, detect magic, you do sense that there is a small magical presence behind you within the room, Petra. Not necessarily sentient, but you do detect some form of magic in the room. Outside, there is no magic and no celestials and no fiends.
Okay, can you indicate where in the room I'm sensing that?
Why, yes, from your girl and mine, Jaina.
Oh, interesting. I scurry over on foot, not crawling. Also, I totally forgot to tell you, not slithering. Yeah, I totally forgot to tell you guys. There's a verbal and somatic component to detect magic, and so for Petra, that is vibe check. I might have done that last week, but I really can't remember.
You
okay.
did. And then you did like a normal vibe check afterward, and I was very confused by the delicate intricacies between them.
Okay, so interesting. Okay, I'm recalling now. I did a vibe check on Jaina when we were back at base and detected no vibes.
That is correct.
So curious that I'm now detecting vibes.
Isn't it?
I confront her directly and ask why her vibes are off.
What do you mean my vibes are off?
God, I don't know if I have it in me to be as peppy and nice as Petra's supposed to be tonight.
It's okay. Everyone's allowed.
Oh God.
We're giving each other a little grace tonight.
You also did the massacre, so you're probably a little shaken from that, I bet.
Yeah. She is. So, okay, she's just gonna say to Jaina, girl, all right, let's get real here. I know that you're like exuding some magical vibes. So like
magical vibe. And she pulls out a ring that looks very familiar to at least Wagat. It's a ring of sending. And she's like, yeah, Defender Hathama gave me this before we left, just in case we needed anything.
Oh, Petra's gonna gesture to everyone. Looks like we have a de facto leader. Hathama already picked for us.
It was just in case there was a problem and we needed any help. I don't necessarily know if I'm qualified to lead, especially with. And she gestures out the window. Especially with that, I've never handled something like this before. It's kind of.
Okay, show of hands.
Scary.
Who's handled something like this before?
Like the ring?
He raises his hand and he like thinks for a second and he puts it back down.
You mean the murder or the ring?
The murders. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. Wow, girl, that's rough. I will work on that skincare routine for you. I know I keep saying I'll do it, but I will get to it.
So dry. It is drier than a popcorn fart out here. Yep.
Yeah.
I just look. It's peeling. It's peeling.
So, seems like maybe
Jaina
Tosh here.
Skincare. Oh, I have access to some of the best ointments and creams out there. If you need some skincare, please let me know.
Is it scale care though?
We got a little bit of a lot, ma'am.
All right.
I can
if
probably hook you up with. I have people. I'll have my people contact your people.
You're starting to grow on me.
I'm growing.
No, that's not. It's a fret. You know what? Let's just move on. Let's
Oh.
just.
Okay.
Yep. It's okay. It's all right.
What got you? Were gonna
Stone's
say
gonna
something?
toss the magic. Oh, sorry.
No. What were you saying?
I was just gonna toss a magic rock out the door, just like see what happens.
The rock skitters out the door, bounces across the cobblestone, and lands in some of the blood from this center person. Just kind of hits that puddle of blood. Just sinks in.
He's just gonna peer very carefully. And he feels like if he peers enough, he'll see something. He
Peer
fully
away.
believes this.
Peer away.
He's
Go ahead
peering.
and just roll a perception check and just go ahead and peer.
Okay.
And what were you doing while Stoney's peering?
Oh
He's
wow,
gonna
that's sorry.
peek his head out from underneath the table that he's hiding under, in between the chair legs. He pulls his head through and he looks up at Jaina and says, "You are from this village. What do you know about such things?"
Oh, I'm sorry if you misunderstood me. I never said that I was from this village. My friend came to this village and we wanted to check on it because we heard there might have been some trouble and we were worried about the people, and we do philanthropic work. As I said before, I am an ambassador of the Emperor. I get all around. I mostly stay in the capital, but sometimes I get to go out and actually liaise.
Interesting. Where were you born?
Oh, shoot, I really don't know. My family travels a lot.
What? Petra's not buying it.
All right.
Oh,
Sweetie,
Stone got a 23
I'm
on his
hot and
perception.
cold with you. Like 1 minute we're hot. You're talking about scale care. Next minute we're cold again.
so-
I'm not trusting you.
It's yes and it's no.
We don't talk about my birth a lot because that's when we lost my mom.
See, it's
Uh,
awfully convenient. that
And you don't
now
want to
you
do
say
honor
that
to your
after.
mother
Why
by
why would
re-exploring how this occurred?
my,
Do honor. What
my-
greatness. They brought you into the world. Fabulous.
My father doesn't really like to talk about it. It makes him sad, and he's such a busy and he's working so hard, and I really don't like to see him sad. So I
He
just
seems
don't
like a
ask.
selfish person.
Petra's
No.
gonna sidle up next to Fate, give him the elbow, and say, "You know who's single is the
He's-
Emperor."
He's not a selfish person. He's extremely selfless. I just don't want to make it harder on him. I already took
Oh, he
his
is.
wife
Does he have to make a
away.
lot of decisions?
I already took his
Are
wife
there a lot of
away.
people relying on him?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that rely on a lot of people. Why are we asking so many questions? And you can tell she's visibly upset thinking about her mother, and that she's trying to hold it together, but
Alright,
it's not working
alright.
really well.
We'll stop. We'll stop
I'm sorry. I don't
for
usually.
now.
I don't.
It's all right. We'll unpack that later.
I just think it's
got a lot of
it's the
threads to
people out
pull.
there. And it's
Yeah. Hey, why don't you give me the ring?
sure. She hands it over.
I'll take that. Okay. Just gonna slide it
Stoney
on.
rolled a 23 on his peering.
It's dark. You don't see any movement. You still see nothing but the faint silhouettes, outlined, of course, silhouettes of the people laying on the ground in the square. Aside from that, you see not a shadow of bird, not a nothing.
Tony, do you have dark vision?
No, not at all.
He's a people.
May
He's a
I
human.
try to take a peek?
Sure.
I'll take it. I'm just gonna scooch up right next to you, okay?
It's like-
Petra would
He's
also
always
like to go peep.
Everyone
While
peep away.
everyone's peeping, I look back
There's
at
now 3 people
Roland.
peering in the.
It's imagine like Scooby-Doo style. We're all kind of like stacked on top of each other in a single doorway.
I mean, the
I feel
heights
like
would
that's
work
what's
for that.
happening, yeah.
yeah, I know.
No, I don't think
what are
so.
we doing?
I'm backing
I'd like
away.
to ask Roland, when does this usually end? You said during dark, so it stops as soon as sun rises?
No, it's worse during the day. That's when it's the worst. We're
And
terrified
how do
to
you
go
know
out.
when to go outside?
When it's the darkest, we seem to have the fewest incidents, actually. During the new moon, I don't think we had any, except when G lit that torch. It was a massacre. His whole family was gone in a moment of seconds. In a matter of seconds.
This whole incident reminds me of how foul the spirits can be. Tell me, what kind of spirits reside in these hills?
Spirits?
Your village.
Yes.
Has no one lived here?
Sound of music.
There are spirits everywhere.
I don't know of any spirits. And the friar is dead.
Where did the friar reside?
You guys haven't had any fried food? Since when? Sorry.
No, the friar
And air fried.
the friar was
That's fair, that's fine,
outside.
yeah.
He decided he could go out during the day a few nights back. And he got tucked. Tummy tucked.
So,
Oh my god.
Friar Tuck.
Yes, the friar got
Oh,
tucked.
God.
So the formerly fat friar?
The formerly fat friar lost a few pounds that day.
Was it like a gastric sleeve situation?
I don't know what that is.
Doesn't
Okay, don't worry
sound-
about it. You know what? It's fine.
Wogat's going to look over at Fate, who is the closest person to him right now, and he's going to say, "The friar, we must find the body. We must find the body!" And he's going to shake the chair legs and like make it rattle ominously as he does it.
Is
He's
your
just gonna
is your
nod
friend
and
okay?
agree. Yeah, he just wants to find the friar.
Well, I mean, he's in the cemetery. We haven't had a chance to bury him yet. It's been too dangerous, but he is in the cemetery.
The body is in the cemetery?
Yes.
Where did you put it?
In the cemetery?
In the
Is it-
okay.
Is it on?
Is it a
Is
big
it just on the ground?
cemetery, or is it like?
In the
un-
cemetery.
Fortunately, it
But
is
not buried.
next to the hole that we started digging for him.
Ah.
So far, the graves have had to be shallow. There were a couple men out there working tonight on it, but given the events, I'm sure they've probably retreated back into their home.
Anybody want to follow me in a single file line, and we can all get to the graveyard?
Oh, not at all.
No.
Stony finishes his hearing and looks back at you like with the craziest eyes you ever seen. He's like, definitely not.
Roland,
Stony,
you will
we're-
accompany us, I presume.
I'm pretty happy staying here tonight. Until the morning. When invisible
It's
things
worse
don't
during
kill
the daytime.
people.
Worse during
Oh, it
the day.
is. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Stony's coma really screwed him up. Never mind. We can go out on a creepy night, I guess,
What?
to the
I'm
cemetery.
sorry.
Maybe
Why
we
are
could strategize more before we
Yeah.
make that decision. Did
This-
Tashi and Petra peep anything?
You peeped the same
No.
things that were peeped by Stony,
Okay.
only
great.
slightly more detailed.
All right. Petra's gonna turn to Tashi and say, all right, so you and Emil say you have dealt with something like this before. Maybe we can talk about
Oh,
that.
I just meant murder.
Oh, that I meant like
It's
of
never
a
been like
supernatural variety.
invisible murder.
Okay.
During,
Who's dealt
during-
with invisible murder? Petra raises her hand and then puts her hand down. Great. Cool.
Alright. Are we sure?
Uh,
Are we sure about this Friar Tuck plan? This plan seems kind of nuttier than a 5-pound fruitcake, if I'm being honest. But like, are we really going out there?
We
And-
could split the group.
during
No.
Stony's
Two-
hearing-
That sounds
Please
like
do
a
it. I
No,
love the split
no.
party.
Let's stay together.
Dark vision? Go
Did
go
Stony
outside.
see- Did Stony
Without.
see any rats or cats
No,
or bats?
you see nothing.
Nothing's
out there
outside?
moving. Not a thing.
Damn, any moths?
Do we
You
hear
see
any birds
nothing
or
moving.
owls?
You don't hear
or-
any animals. You see no creatures. Nothing.
Phew. Well, definitely not gonna do that then.
Hey, Roland, you say that it's worse during the daytime and that these things respond to light. Any noise, or are we good to make a cacophony of sounds? Cacophony of sounds, that's the word.
I haven't noticed any correlation between attacks and noise, but we've been as quiet as we can be, so I don't know.
I'd like to reach my head out the door and scream at the top of my lungs.
What's going
have you guys?
on?
Yeah, pretty much. Have you guys seen the Goonies? Whenever
Have we
he's
seen
like,
the
"Hey, you
Goonies?
guys!" Just
I
fucking
haven't
the
seen
energy and the
Goonies.
passion. Yeah, the excitement from that is what I scream.
I'm really sad that I'm interacting with an age group that has to ask if I've seen the Goonies.
I haven't seen it.
Like it.
Really?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Filmed in
I,
Astoria, Oregon.
Anyway,
Sorry.
can you roll me a performance check?
Not like a nature, because I'm singing from my heart here.
No.
I'm really fuck.
Good try.
Oh, yay!
Oh wait, Stoney's gonna tap you on the shoulder like, I think you sounded great, and you'll have +4 to your performance check, or D4, a D4,
Nice.
1D4.
Simultaneously, Petra is gonna approach Jaina again and take her by the hand and look deep into her eyes and try to persuade her to tell the truth by saying that it seems like these people are in a really girl, I know you see they're in like a dire situation here.
That's why I'm
And
here.
so I think girl, I know and I respect that about you, but I think that if you were to be completely transparent about the kind of resources that are available to you, including any kind of political influence that you might have, that might really be of benefit to these people who are clearly suffering. If you see where I'm coming from, can I please try to persuade her?
Dude, go ahead and roll persuasion. While you're rolling persuasion, Emil rolled a 12, so adding that 4 to it is 16.
Sorry, it was 13. My bad.
Sure.
17.
So 17. You poke your head out and you give us the best. Hey guys, and it's just your voice carries and it's melodious and it's pleasant and it's alluring, and as the voice echoes off the buildings and slowly fades to nothing, the oppressive silence of the night falls back upon the village.
Not the music of the night.
No.
The darkness.
There is no music
the
of
music
the night.
of the night.
Is a fan of the opera reference.
Yes.
Clear.
I got it.
Okay.
That was a
Yes.
Dracula reference.
That's
And
creatures.
the
of
opera
night.
is
like,
closing
uh,
after 35 years on Broadway.
I know, I hate that so
Nighttime
much.
sharpens.
Devastated.
Night
They're replacing it
unfurls
with
its splendor.
bats.
Now, Petra, she looks you dead in the
Replacing it
eye
with
and
what?
she says, "Well, are you telling me you see a political solution?" I don't understand what my resources have to do with this. I come to evaluate what is needed, and I will try to arrange whatever resources I can. I told you from the beginning that I work on philanthropic efforts on behalf of the Emperor. If you see a
Honestly,
political solution, please let me know, and I will find
Honestly,
some
that
politicians
is
to help you.
That's a fair question.
It
What are
might
you
be
thinking?
easier for us to create
If you
a
want-
solution if we knew all the resources at our disposal.
What
Like
resources
what?
do
What
you
are you
want?
trying to?
What
Yeah.
do you need?
No, I'm with
We're not
Jaina
the
here on this one.
Emperor
I'm so
or not.
lost.
What was that?
Petra,
I was just gonna ask her straight up if her dad's the emperor.
Oh my
Tired of
God. We're
beating around
still
the
on
bush.
this.
Even
Well,
if
God's
you
gonna
were,
come out
what would
from-
that do here?
Yeah, that's
How
Are
would
you
that help
messing
us?
question too.
Petra, whatever the answers are, it seems that they have gained no knowledge in the last 3 weeks. I think it's pretty clear that we need to go back to the beginning of this to find any clue as to like what might be happening in this village. Does anyone
Beginning?
agree?
Someone
Wait.
just asked a question. Does the thing attack light or people in light?
Oh, that's a good question.
It
Oh.
looks like it's been just attacking people in light. It hasn't attacked anyone.
Oh, let's put
Because
Jaina
the
in
bodies
the light,
are
see
all
what
lit up.
happens.
I got an
Or,
idea.
no, let's put Jaina in the dark outside, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I got an idea I'm not proud of. I don't like it either, and it's gonna make me feel really bad. If we tie a torch to one of the body's hands and prop it with some rope and jiggle it about,
Oh, I'm fine with that.
I
Yeah, we
think
can
that's a
weekend to
good
Bernie's
idea.
it. Yeah, totally. Let's do it.
kind of like at the farm once, we had a sheep that it was definitely dead. Wolves got it, so we propped it up with some stakes, and the wolf got staked. But same thing.
Yeah,
Um,
sorta. Sure.
Brilliant.
Rupus
Tony.
steps forward and says, Ribbit, I'm pretty stealthy. I'm really stealthy. I could
Petra
probably
suggests that
do that.
Rupus would also really be good at like building maybe like some wooden puppeteering structures. He'd probably be really into that.
And
I mean, that would make sense, but we don't
he
have a lot of
carves-
time
he
right
carves.
now.
And if you put a torch in his hand and you shoot it with an arrow on fire, you don't even have to go out there.
Touche. So, how's this? If someone could rig this pulley, pull the pulley out, up to the signpost for the tavern right over the door, I'll run out there and tie a torch to the hand and throw you the rope, and you can run it up through the pulley.
Hand
Quick
it over. I
question.
reach out my hand
Wait,
and I get ready to tie it up.
Wait. How heavy is this pulley?
It's a 1 pound pulley.
Let's say 1/4, whatever challenge rating creature that can carry a pulley.
I don't have the entire monster manual memorized.
So I'm pulling it up, and I think it's only 1/8 challenge rating I can do right now.
Are you summoning familiar?
No, I'm turning
okay.
into something.
Oh yeah. Because you're a druid.
Sorry, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm just trying to remember things that I can and can't turn into.
All right. Well, while you guys figure that out, I'm
Wait,
gonna
why are you
go.
turning into a? I'm confused.
Because I can go and throw the pulley up on
Because
the
he has
signpost.
abilities he wants to use that he hasn't gotten to use
I
yet.
can turn into animals now. That's a thing.
I mean, we've got an
know I could
animal,
do
but I'm
that.
not willing to risk her.
Rupus hands over the pulley to Emil.
1/4.
I'm gonna head on out, and hops out very
Oh,
carefully
wait, never mind. I can't do anything that can fly.
in the dark, and nothing happens. And hops up to the one that was torn across the chest but still has the head and starts tying a torch.
Quick side note: are they still lit up?
No, it only
Is the
lasts
fairy
only
fire
a
still
minute, isn't
going?
it?
It only lasts a minute.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to
Yeah, just a
verify
minute.
before.
Do you think a cat could carry a 1 pound
Sure.
pulley?
Could a cat use its paws to
Sweet.
drive the hardware into the signpost to mount a pulley? Probably not. But it could
My
carry it
cats
up
could.
there.
Oh, definitely not.
I do appreciate you overcomplicating this when you could just lean out. But that's
I
okay.
attached
Oh.
the pulley to the sign.
Oh, I thought we had to go like in the middle of the street to attach this pulley.
No. This one right above the door to the.
I'm just watching Stoney and I look at him. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing over there, son?"
Sony's just thinking of animals. Sony's just constantly naming animals. And he's like, guys, we need
Why?
to carry a pulley.
Why are you, Stoney? Calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself.
A cat?
Don't think too hard, okay?
Rupus starts.
Here,
Cat
you want to say
definitely carry a
hello to
pulley.
Daisy for a little bit? You want
You
to have
better
a
bring
conversation?
Rupus in.
Rupus starts
No, I
hopping
can turn
back,
into
and all of a
Daisy
sudden
and
you see
talk
Rupus
to Daisy.
freeze and look at the sky, and a shadow falls across Rupus. And out of nowhere flies a giant heron of the night and grabs Rupus, and he looks you right in the eyes and says, "Hide, you fools!" As the heron
Does he say, I'll
flies
be
away.
back in
Oh!
1 to 2 weeks?
He said, "Hide, you fools." That's what he said. Okay.
And
The frog
so
got
the
eaten by the heron. That
didn't
was
get eaten. He gets
short-sighted.
grabbed and flies away. As you see him just batting at the heron's
I'm gonna shout
beak.
as loudly as I can at Rupus and be like, use your hands. Take off your gloves.
Kick him with your poisoned toes.
And he yells, "I'm trying! It's not easy!" As the heron
no.
flies out
Rufus!
of sight.
Out of sight. They don't go that
Um,
far.
This
That's
one
not how
does.
herons
This-
eat.
This
Oh,
giant
good.
heron of the night is flying far.
So we still need a rope to the thing, don't we?
No.
Yes, the rope. He dropped the rope here when the giant night heron grabbed him.
It's not easy being green. Wagasa. I hate to be pedantic, but Rupus is blue.
Your pedantry is appreciated.
Oh, Wagat made a funny joke.
I saw that.
Adam made a funny joke. As we got.
Right, Emil, you run out. You grab the rope. You now are holding the rope.
I bring back and attach the rope.
Terrific. The rope is through the pulley and attached to the hand. And attached to the hand is the torch. There's a torch in the hand, and the hand has the rope, and the rope's in the pulley, and the pulley's in your hand. Or the pulley's on the post, and the post on the tavern, and the tavern in the middle
And a
of the
hole
village.
at the bottom of the sea.
Can anyone light the torch?
Yeah.
Wogat
Petra
can
volunteers, and before Wogat can pull out whatever fire-starting device he's about to pull out, she casts Eldritch Blast.
That's not fire.
That's not fire.
Why? Yes, it
Eldritch
totally
blast
is.
is not fire.
Yes, it is.
That's like
It's
psychic.
a beam. It's a beam of energy.
It's a beam
and
of
it clearly...
energy. It's not fire.
Oh my god.
It would blast a hole in the torch.
Well, that's cool though.
Wogat
No,
continues
I really thought it
withdrawing
was
his
fire.
tinderbox very slowly and
Okay, Petra didn't do
methodically,
that,
takes
never
off the
mind.
lid and pulls out the I don't know, the flint and steel, and then comes over to the torch and will light it.
So you're gonna go out into the square and light the torch that's in the hand of the corpse. I'm just making sure I'm understanding.
Oh, did nobody? Okay, nobody grabbed the torch from the. I didn't realize that.
No, the torch was
The
deliberately
torch is-
attached to the corpse.
Okay.
I kind of
I'd
like
really-
hold Wogat back, and I'm like, hold on, no, we
I
need something
I
to
can throw a
shoot
rock at
the
it.
fire.
Yeah,
Will
I'd
the
really
rock
feel more
do
comfortable
fire?
if you stayed inside. For now.
Okay, so Wogat is going to pull out his own torch, light that, and then he's going to toss it down onto the other torch outside the door.
Wogat, if you do that, you need to be so fast.
The body's like 60 feet away.
Well, okay.
It's
Petra
like
How
offers
about
her
this?
crossbow.
45 feet.
Close the door. Wait, it's 45 feet away? How?
I've got a javelin.
We gotta
This
light
is
the
why
body.
Rupus was gonna use his arrow to set it on fire, but then Rupus got carried away by a bird. So,
This gets so complicated.
but
how
Petra
is the
has a
pulley being
crossbow.
used?
We're gonna. The body's 60 feet away. We're gonna use the pulley to jiggle it
All right.
so that
let
its
me,
arm, which is
let me make sure.
Why do
Make sure this is very clear. There is a body here. This body has an arm. In the hand attached to the arm, there's a torch that's been lashed to the hand. Also to that arm, a rope has been attached. That rope runs to a pulley that is attached to the signage above the door of the tavern. So, triangle. I believe the intent was to pull on the rope, have the arm come up. Somehow you're supposed to light that torch. Am I
Okay.
correct? Am I picturing this
Wogat
right?
is going to hand the tinderbox over to Emil, my friend. You require something to light the torch with. I trust this to you.
Thank
Wait.
you. I have now given up, and I just start walking
Wait,
out
you
and
guys
say,
think I have that
"Everybody,
boom?
get my
That's
back."
right.
yells that she has a crossbow. We have a ranged weapon we can use for this.
It's not
Either
lit up.
that
I
or
take the
I do
body and I
have-
drag it back
Come
towards
back!
us.
I
would
do
like
have a
to
flask
drag
of
the body
oil,
right here.
and we
Yes.
can.
Oh, I got these rocks.
I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore.
Holy
I'm
yeah.
so
Quite
The body
confused.
is there.
We can light the torch from afar with a ranged weapon.
And now that the body is closer,
How much
Honestly,
closer?
I don't even remember what we were doing. Were we doing this for a distraction so we can
I
get over to
thought-
the cemetery? Or are we
Why do we
testing
want
this
the-
out? What are we doing?
Why do we want
I
the
think
body
this is a
closer? The
a
body's gonna
lure.
get attacked. We want the body far away.
so that way we.
And light it. Let's
Right.
light and light it.
When I built this creature, I was not expecting this.
This is this I'm this
Why?
is upsetting. I'm upset.
Stony's gonna say, I got these rocks. If you oil these rocks up alive on fire, I'm sure I can get one near the torch.
Well, God, can you please
don't
oil
forget
the
to
rocks?
oil your stones. Always keep your stones oiled.
Keep them oiled for me, please.
If we were
Consider
taking
them
titles
oiled.
tonight,
Put your
oil.
stones in my hand so that I can rub oil on them.
Here
Go
you go. Here's my 3 stones.
Oh, 3, thank
3.
you.
That's an odd number.
Better
I
than
can
1, I
only do
suppose.
3 at once.
So, Tashi, I see you have fallen back into the ale room, or the storage
Yeah,
room.
I'm drinking. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just drinking.
you notice
I
in
don't
that room there are no windows, and a faint fire is burning under this cauldron, but it seems to be blocked enough that the light doesn't get out the door, and it's extremely faint covered. There are kegs and barrels, crates all around you, and even a trap door here, leading down to probably some sort of larder. Um, I'm assuming you probably grabbed a mug on your way in. If not, there are several mugs on shelves around the room. And there are ales of all sorts and types, even some mead.
So I'm going to fill up a mug with some ale. Doesn't matter what kind. I'm going to down the entire mug. I'm going to walk back over to the door and I'm going to hiccup. Be like, there's a trap door in here. It might be helpful for some things. I don't know. You want to check that out?
You see Stony and Wargot is obsessing over stones that and like oiling them.
And I drink again.
So back to the stones.
I think they're ready.
Are they well oiled
right.
now?
Let's do one at a time. Let's not light all three at once, so that's gonna be bad. So, so I'm gonna rear back, and as I rear back, I need you to light it, so that I'm not holding a burning stone.
Okay, fair.
If we're going the ranged weapon approach, Petra offers a gun or
Petra, we have a plan.
Wagat holds up the tinder box, and on the count of 3, he's going to strike it and light the stone.
I would like to prepare to grab Stony and pull him back should anything try to attack him. Can I prepare a movement? Can I prepare something here?
So
okay, cool.
Let me make sure I ascertain everything that's going on. Stony is hauling back. Wagat's going to light...
Stony's a catapult now.
Wagat is going to light the rock that Stony is physically holding in his hand. Then you're going to try to hurl it. So are you holding it back, or is it a fluid motion?
I'm holding it back, and on 3, I'm throwing it. So I'm reared back, and I'm ready. And on 3, the rock's getting thrown at the...
So you guys are going on the count of 3. Great. Just to make sure the coordination works well, I'm going to need a sleight of hand check just to make sure you can actually strike it under pressure and on 3, and to see if it actually lights. Stony, I'm going to need a ranged attack, so this is going to be a d20 plus your dexterity.
I got magic stones, baby.
Are you using... You're physically throwing it, right?
Yeah, I'm using my magic stone. It's a magic stone that has a +6.
Got it. That's fine then. And then, Emil, just preemptive strength check.
Oh no. I touch you and say, don't fuck this up.
You can't say it after
Not
the roll.
me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
And Emil, I just need a preemptive strength check just in case you need to do what you say you want to do. Okay.
Could I please prepare an action?
Absolutely. What's going on?
I hear everybody talking about how they're going to count to 3. So I get a mug of ale ready and I hold it in front of my face. And when they get to 3, I'm going to drink the whole thing over.
Delightful.
So the good news, Stony rolled a 24.
Okay. And got it. Wagat, you go to strike the tinder, or the flint and steel, I'm assuming. And the sparks skip off of Stony's hand and fall onto some of the oil that has dripped onto the ground. At that exact moment, it flares up very slightly, making a small fire. Stony throws the unlit stone, and it beams that torch right where it would have caught. It was a perfect throw, absolutely gorgeous, and it bounces off, obviously unlit. The floor itself was a little bit dirty, had some straw, and was dry, and a little fire starts. And in that exact moment, Stony does a 23 hit.
Oh, definitely. For sure, bud.
Stony gets a slash feels a sharp slash across his back. That's the wrong dice. That's too
Wait, why is
big.
back?
Okay.
Well, his back's to the fire. And Stony, you take 4 damage as a slash opens up on your back. Everyone roll initiative.
I think it was a great plan.
I agree.
Don't let a
It was a
19.
It's actually pulling in your initiatives for once and not making me manually enter them. Nope, just 2 people. Never mind. So why would it work for everybody?
Stony got a 19.
Petra got a 9.
I just kind of grumble. We should have gone to the graveyard.
We should have used the crossbow. Petra said.
But the crossbow
We
would have
still would have had
sat.
it.
The crossbow would have sat lit, and you had to aim it for a
Yeah.
bit. Like,
We still would have had to roll.
You can
this.
shoot a crossbow much faster than you can throw a rock.
or throwing
Apparently,
a rock
that wasn't the
is
issue here.
It's also just because I have a +6 to hit with the rock.
All right. Tashi, you're in the other room. You hear a flame, a little bit of a flame perk up on the ground. You hear a slash of almost like a knife through wet meat. And I'm assuming that Stony lets out some kind of noise to indicate that he is in pain. And you have your
Oh
mug of
dear
ale.
God!
I'm
No,
going
Jesus Christ, this time.
to
No.
stall over to here. I guess I'll.
There we go.
What am I gonna do? So I can't see any.
You don't see anything. You see some fire here on the ground. Not a huge fire. It's a little bit of a fire. And you see Stony with a slash on his back. And that's it.
And Stony is facing
He's, yeah,
this
Stony is
direction.
Stony's facing toward the square.
Okay. The first thing I'm gonna do is look up
So here,
because
just
no one ever looks up.
there is fire. You look up, you see the rafters and girders above you. I'm gonna use girders because that was a word that we had before that made us all laugh. You see the girders above you. And nothing seems out of place or abnormal.
I guess I'm going to use my grovel cower bag. What was it? Seductively groveling. I'll do that right here and hope that I'm within 10 feet of an enemy.
And that gives everyone advantage on it, correct?
And that gives everyone advantage on their attacks. On their
Okay.
attack rolls. I
Perfect.
think that's gonna be my whole turn.
All right. That would bring us next to Stony himself.
Can Stony perceive, like, what, or not perceive, what did it feel like when he, did it feel like something like material hit him, or was like
It
just all of a sudden his back?
felt like a razor was run across your back.
Was there actually like force and weight behind it?
There was. It was enough to kind of pop you forward a little bit.
Stony still has 2 rocks, so he's just gonna. This could be a bad idea.
I'm so sorry, but something has come to interrupt combat. Uh-oh. Where'd your bink go, kid?
Is it a baby? Tell us to not put more oil on the fire? Because that's a smart baby.
Say no more oil. Can you say no more oil?
No, Dad.
No
I'm
oil.
not.
You want to say hi? Say hi. Can you say, how are you? Are you gonna be shy tonight? Yeah. Is it because you had a really bad nap today? Yeah. Look, Liv's saying hi. Hold on.
Hey.
There we go. Now you can see them. You see everybody? Right. You ready to go night-night? What? Where's your bank? I don't know where your bank is. I just knocked it out of your mouth. Oh, we'll find it, though. Alright, let me take 2 seconds. Hey, we're actually 10 minutes from our intermission, so you guys want to have a quick intermission and then come back? Alright.
Sounds good.
With that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll see you all in about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh boy. So I knew something hit me. It felt like it was from behind, and it felt like there was some force there. He's sticking with a plan. He's got 2 more stones that are just doused in oil. He's got a fire beneath him. He's going to tell them, put out that fire, and he's going to put a stone on the fire and throw the torch out there. Yes. $22. Can I try stomp on the fire too, or is that too much? Is that an interaction, you think? No, interacted with. Yeah. It'd be a bonus action.
My fucking roll 20 is so fucking buggy right now.
Guys, I think we made it worse.
Yeep.
All right, so Wogat raises a hand and starts speaking in Infernal and casts Frostbite at the fire on the ground to try to inflict cold and envelop the flames with frost.
What did he say? Petra speaks Infernal.
Oh man, I don't know. Okay, I don't actually have something for this one.
Maybe.
Damn you. Okay.
He said ice baby and Infernal.
Yeah.
Nate speaks Infernal.
That would definitely be if Petra had an ice spell. It'd definitely be like, oh my god, like chill.
Oh my god.
Needs a cool off.
Oh my god.
Take a chill pill.
But yeah, so if the fire's out, then Wogat's going to, I guess, like, can you make an action or make an attempt to like, there's no listen check, right? It's all just perception in this. All right, he's gonna look for other sources of light and like pay attention from sounds coming in that specific direction. Where is?
Mop.
Get
Mop.
10% for that.
Adam, I just have to say I love that, like, I can 100% tell that you've either played older versions or Pathfinder because of your questions. Like, can I do a listen
Everything.
check?
Yeah. I'm used to things being
Yep.
so much more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, yeah, to be clear, I'm not, I think that's it for my turn.
I'd like to immediately try to blot out the. Wait, there's oil on the ground. That's what's on fire. And hay.
The fire's out. Isn't it?
Then what's the orange thing in the middle? Just where the fire was. Wait, then what's the dim light? Because Stoney's on fire?
On the body.
Oh.
You can work the rope.
Damn, that bitch is bright. Okay. We said a short turnaround on our turns. If I'm having issues figuring out what to do, can I can we come back to me? Can I give up my initiative? Okay.
I don't even know what the fuck I can do.
I guess I probably could have moved out of the place I just got hit by. Oh well. I could
Excuse me.
have gotten hit again though.
So we have no idea where anything came from, what hit him, what it was, who did it, type of thing.
We have theories, but that would be.
And my divine sense didn't show anything in 60 feet when I had used it. The fuck's this goblin? Oh, okay.
That's the mayor.
That's the mayor. The goblin is the mayor. The interim.
Rolling.
Okay. Do I see anything as I come out here at all? This is the direction that Stoney got hit from, though, right?
No, I got hit from right behind me. So you walked through where
inside.
Yes. You were standing right behind me, so you probably just saw my back. It slashed open.
Okay.
Like the fire blew
Jesus.
up, and then all of a sudden he got slashed in the back, just from where the fire was. He was
Right.
facing away from the fire. Fire lights up. He gets smashed in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what the fuck I can even do here, because there's nothing to attack, but we're in initiative. And so it's not the end of my next turn yet. There's still no celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet. What about, is there any place here that's consecrated or desecrated within here? Within... Okay, so we were all still in this formation when Stoney got hit, right? Okay, Fate's gonna move over here, and he's gonna take a large, sweeping slash with his greatsword to these three adjacent areas, just kind of trying to see if he'll hit anything.
All right. And for you that were watching, I apologize. My mic was muted. I'm going to explain what I just explained to everyone again. The yellow circle is bright light. The red circle is dim light. However, in the building, the only light that is being shown is dim light between these two lines. Fate is swinging in which general direction?
I'm doing an arc across this open space over here.
All right. That did not hit anything.
Do I hear anything as I slash?
You heard your sword whistling through the air. Hello, hidden squidist. Hello, hello.
How much damage did Stoney take?
4.
Stoney took 4 damage. Looks like Strange Dice is raiding us. Thank you, Strange. We appreciate it. For those of
I
you just
guess-
joining us right now, our players are currently being waylaid by an unseen assailant that appears only when there is light and attacks.
Fucking A. Let me look at my inventory, I guess.
Can Petra yell something at him while he's doing this?
I mean, sure. Well, while you're doing that, Jordan, we're going to jump to Petra, and then we'll come back to Emil and then fade again.
Oh, okay, great. Well, if it's Petra's turn, then she's gonna run forward and slam this door shut that's letting light in. And because since we know that we only get attacked when it's light, can I do that?
I mean, Stoney's in the way, but
Can
I'm
she
sure you could shove
shove
Stoney out of the
shove
way.
him?
Tony
She
is very
nudges.
shovable.
Yeah,
If
Okay.
anyone's going to be shoved,
I don't think he would
Yeah.
resist too much to you shoving him out of the way and slamming the door. So I'll go ahead and yes. You're able to
Fabulous. She
slam the
does
door.
that. She does precisely that.
All right. Now,
So once we do that, light.
as you slam the
Okay.
door, the light disappears from the room. You're plunged back into darkness.
Can I retcon something before she had done that?
Sure.
Can I look around the room, like kind of reverse with I have a steel mirror, and just see if I can see anything within it across the entire room that's currently lit?
That's a really creative attempted solution. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Great, +0. Let's see how this goes. 14.
You see the room reflected backward in the mirror.
Wow. Okay. That's all that I have. Then that was my last
not
attempt.
expected this.
All right.
Yeah.
With the door slammed, the light disappears out of the room. You're plunged into darkness.
Great. That was Petra's movement and interaction. For her action, she's going to do another vibe check, detect magic, but it's kind of nervous. It's more like a vibe check.
All right. Well, as you check for vibes, you detect no magic that was not already discovered.
Fabulous. Great. Then she is going to. Are there benches around these tables?
There are benches and chairs depending on which table.
All right, never mind. She's just gonna kind of like lean up against this table, exasperated. That'll be the end of her turn.
Okay. And with that, you guys actually, you feel everything around you is still, is calm. The hairs on your arms relax. The feeling of tension that you felt,
on my arm.
the feeling of tension that you felt during combat dissipates, and things seem quiet again.
Sorry, I forgot to mute myself while I was crunching. My bad.
Crunch,
But
crunch,
we're
crunch away.
still in combat.
You're actually not in initiative anymore.
Okay.
Right. Then Petra's gonna. Are there's windows or no windows?
There are windows, but they're all covered either by heavy blinds, boards, things of that nature. Haphazardly, sloppily put up, obviously in a rush, but seem to thoroughly cover the windows for the most part.
Okay, that's smart of them. Petra would kind of, she'll express to the rest of the group that it'd be cool if we could look out there and see what's going on with that corpse that we lit on fire. But that would let light in, so we're in quite the pickle.
Sidebar question: is this a door right here?
It
Yeah.
is.
That's the
And I'm-
storeroom.
And I'm in the storeroom, and I'm like, "Hey guys, come in here.
It's actually just an open doorway. It's not actually a door, so it is easily passed through.
Come in the storeroom."
I want to clarify a few things first, though.
Sure.
This is protruding light, as is this thing, correct?
So,
No.
as I said, this one I couldn't turn the light off when
This
I
is
was making
fire.
the map, so this one is not exuding light. This one is emitting a faint light that they seem to have put things around it, like this barrel and such, to try and stop the light from getting out of this room. It's a very low fire, just coals under a cauldron that seems to have some sort of food inside. It's delicious smelling. Reminds you very much of lamb stew.
Okay.
Petra also detected on her first vibe check that that's a very special cauldron they've got back there. Also have to share with everyone, because Jordan didn't put it in the main chat, this hilarious quip that bold of him to assume that Fate does not bathe in Nair. I'd like to propose that be canon, that Fate does bathe in Nair.
Want it to be.
And probably wears short shorts.
Definitely wear
Silkies.
short
They're
shorts.
definitely winch silkies
I
underneath.
wear short shorts.
I mean,
This
there's
the
something
portraits
special
will
about
be
the
out
silky.
shortly, so you just
Yeah.
wait.
We should do the OSVL swimsuit calendar, but it's just everyone wearing silkies and like
Silkies,
tank
yeah.
tops or something.
Can we get silkies that have the
Yes.
OSVL seal on?
I would buy
like,
those in a heartbeat.
I would too.
My first
And I'd-
deployment, we actually started shooting the Military Men of Medicine calendar. So we had like a major, a lieutenant colonel, a couple captains, a bunch of NCOs and junior enlisted, all posing in these very interesting poses.
This
and
is
we
how you
were-
put this
Are
in
those
we were
the-
proposing
still
to-
for sale?
We were
or-
proposing to sell them with the FRG to raise funds, but our battalion commander shot it down. He made us stop. We did not
Homophobe.
delete the photos. I still have them all.
I would like to see them. On a secondary note, can I move anything that's blocking the light in the cauldron just so that it can fix me
No.
specifically?
Petra tries to intervene immediately.
So you would like
Hold on.
to make it so that a shaft... The coals are very dim. There's not a lot of light coming off them. It's a faint glow. So even if you were to move stuff around, the most it would do is light your boots a little bit. And
So-
you're in...
Sounds perfect, but
What if
I would like to go towards the door and start to open it, so that way I can reach out to.
Let me let Jordan
don't
finish
have a
his thought
leader.
first, and then definitely.
Can I blow on the coals to make like extra light, essentially?
I
that
mean-
just
Sure.
illuminate towards me.
Sure.
I just want to see what happens in a closed room. So I'm gonna blow on the coals.
I mean, roll for blow? I'm kidding. Yeah, you are able to stoke the coals.
Proficient in blowing,
They-
actually.
They glow a little. They glow a little more brightly, and your face feels nice and warm.
But no, it's not bright enough. Essentially,
There is a faint light coming from the coals, but nothing seems to change in the room. Emil, what do you got?
I'm kind of talking back to you guys, and then the rest of the room, saying, really hurriedly, really excited, not really listening to reason or anything. I said, we don't want to miss this opportunity. I'm gonna reach out. Does anybody have a blanket in case this thing rips the door off the hinges?
Can I try to grapple Emil?
I mean, go ahead. We can do a strength check on your part versus.
Oh
Or,
no.
I'm sorry. Give me an athletics check versus Emil. You can either do an athletics or a acrobatics to try and get away.
Petra has
Assuming-
-1 to
Same time.
athletics.
assuming
At the
Emil
same time,
wins.
can Wagat give?
You got it.
Emil
Yeah,
an
that was the worst
intimidation?
roll I could have fucking. You're gonna intimidate me or Petra?
So
Emil.
I typically don't allow players to do intimidation checks on each other or things like that.
Okay.
Just that
Remember
that
last
takes
time
away
I
a
was
player's
afraid
autonomy.
of-
Petra won. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miraculously Petra grapples.
Petra, with her thin,
I didn't want to hurt you. That's what it was.
her thin scholarly arms, is able to go ahead and restrain.
Oh, to be clear,
Emil.
Petra's thick. She's built. She's kind of built. She's just surprisingly weak for
Okay.
her build.
Petra, even though she is in need of a few extra push-ups, is still able to restrain Emil, who is choosing apparently not to harm Petra.
I don't know what would make you think that. Emil is maybe just like tired from our
That's-
long journey.
No, that's what Emil said. So
Oh, choosing.
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 The dice say otherwise.
Okay.
I'm literally halfway down this trapdoor ladder.
So when you open that trapdoor, do you have dark vision? You do.
I do.
Looking down inside, it is a larder. You see, it's not very large. It's maybe 10
I don't know what
feet
a. Sorry, what's a larder?
cellar for
They
food.
keep all the fat.
So they keep food.
Okay.
I just want to share that
Like a
somebody
root
shared
cellar?
with you
Kind of like,
about-
yeah, it's not dissimilar to a cellar.
Okay.
in this case, it is in fact a cellar. It's just used for the storage of the food that is served in this tavern. It's actually quite cramped. It's maybe a 10 by 10, a 10-foot square room with just lined and shelves around the edges.
How do you spell larder?
Larder.
Huh. How about that? Okay.
I love how you do this every time I say a word you're not familiar with. You're like, bullshit. Brandon does not know words I don't. Bullshit.
Calling BS. This is our Scrabble
And
game,
you've
Brandon.
never, ever, ever caught me. I know words
I know.
sometimes, Sam.
I know. I hate it. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna go down in there with Daisy, and we're gonna look around for potentially anything helpful.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation check.
Oh crap.
You find some delicious looking food lining the shelves. Various cured meats, some baskets of vegetables, some cheeses, a few broken or chipped mugs, a couple flasks of different liquors, a couple jars of oil that are used possibly for cooking, and then some candles, things of that nature.
Candles, you say?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Always
grab
light
a few.
those and throw those out.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a few and bring those up.
Sure. There's
Well,
roughly
also,
there's about
like-
10 candles. How many do you want?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You take 6 candles.
And also, I'm going to like sneak a taste of something delicious on the shelf.
Oh, there's a lot of
And then
delicious.
Well, I'll just like grab a handful of salami, shove it in my mouth, and come back up.
Do you love shoving
That sounds
salami in your
about right.
mouth?
I do love shoving salami in my mouth. You're not wrong.
I mean, who
Is
doesn't?
Petra
Who doesn't?
is Petra's passive perception of 13 enough to smell that delicious salami?
No.
I'll grab a second
unfortunately.
handful for Petra.
It's really thoughtful of Tashi.
All right, as Tashi is throwing or stuffing salami in their mouth, I haven't heard from Stony in a while. What are you up to, bud? Aside from bleeding on the floor.
Stony is looking at himself and realizing, like, ow, I'm bleeding. But he thinks he can take it.
Jaina's gonna come over and start she has picked up one of the bar rags and she's like patting the blood on your back and trying to staunch the bleed.
I'm gonna be like, that's really not sanitary.
She's like,
Um,
it's fine. It's got I doused it in some sort of strong smelling liquor. I'm sure it's antiseptic. Now stop fussing and come here.
Stony like whimpers in pain from the antiseptic.
She gently like pats your shoulder. You'll be okay.
He also wants to know the progress of his little body trap out there.
Body trap?
Body trap.
Can't tell. There's a door between you and the body.
Hmm.
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 And
Nice to see out
Petra and
there.
Emil are blocking the door in a grappled position.
How thick are these walls?
Or like beside the door.
Fairly thick, as
We're
you
directly
remember.
in front of me.
As you remember, upon coming into the village, they are very well-made homes. This is a logging village, so they know how to work with wood. And yes, I said what I said, and I'm sticking to it. They know how to work wood, and so their expertise is shown in the craftsmanship of these homes. They're very sound.
Not a gap.
Nary a gap. And if there were, they would have filled them already with maybe plaster or daub or something to make it so light doesn't get in incidentally.
Do I see any plaster or daub around me?
I mean, I guess you could investigate.
This is just the most riveting game of D&D ever.
Right?
What the fuck
I
is
did-
it,
I
I
Brandon?
really didn't expect everyone to spend an
Jesus.
entire session hiding in the dark. It is
You gave us a monster that only attacks us in light. What did you think was
did.
gonna happen?
so I actually little meta. I got the idea for this creature about 8 months ago. Because I was thinking, well, everyone always gets scared of the dark. What if I could make my players scared of the light? And so that was my goal. And I've been brewing on this creature for 8 months, and I think I finally got it. So
That's so
I'm
creative
very
of you.
excited.
I love
I'm very
it.
excited.
I'm
So-
glad that you feel that you got it.
I'm not
This is-
scared of the darkness or
Oh,
the
no.
light. I want to find the thing and kill it.
It's a thing. All right. Anyway, Stony. Look around. You don't see really any cracks, anything like that. It looks like it's a very well-maintained tavern. If you're trying to find a way to look outside from where you moved, from where you were, you might have been able to dig a little bit of the where the door meets the floor. You might have been able to maybe chip away at the door a little bit. I don't know, or crack a window, crack a door.
Crack a cold one. Stony is going to
I think you should
pass
open
his
the
turn
door.
to someone else while he ponders and thinks. Stony's pondering and thinking. Someone else can take a shot at this.
Petra cries out pleadingly while she's still flung on top of Emil. Please, no more light until we've discussed further.
Jaina, I kind of agree. That was scary.
I just kind of like huff out from underneath you or wherever we are. If we're like side to side, just kind of like being grappled. I'm like, we are losing our opportunity. The light is dying. We should crack the door and figure out what's happening. And be
Petra
prepared for what
hollers at Roland. How long has this village been under siege? Do you think we'll lose our opportunity?
He's a little tipsy. The fight didn't even seem to faze him. He's just deep in his cups right now. About 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
I don't think they'll go away if we wait. I think we can think on it.
It'll get worse in the daytime.
That's why these people don't go out in the daytime.
How many
If
hours
it gets
until
worse in the
daytime?
daytime, it gets worse in light.
I asked. Oh, go ahead.
It had been dark for a while you guys were flying in, for several hours. So it's getting nearer dawn. Obviously, there's no night animal sounds to help you know, and you guys haven't really been outside looking at the sky. But can you give me a nature check real quick? Based on so during your flight in, you would have been paying attention because you, being as weird and occulty as you are, obviously staring at the stars and such, and you probably think it's somewhere around an hour before dawn right now.
All right. Seeing as how the danger is coming when the light is out, I recommend that we all retreat to the cellar and stay down there during the daytime and come back out at nightfall and do our best to keep the villagers in the same.
Petra supports this, but still stays on top of Emil until
I concede. I give up. I say okay, and I shake Petra off, and I go off to a corner in the cellar, and I ask if anybody wants me to, if anybody has 25 gold, so that way I can start crafting a health potion.
Hustler's gotta hustle.
I'm not making money off of this transaction. It's just what I need.
All right, Petra is also gonna follow Emil and Wagat to the cellar.
Does anybody have 25 gold?
Jaina says, I have 25 gold.
Fabulous. I start crafting I'm in the cellar and I start crafting health potion.
She hands off 25 gold.
Petra's gonna sit cross-legged on top of one of these barrels and start just like doing some weird stretches and stuff. Yoga. She's doing yoga, but I don't know if yoga exists in this world.
Now, I mean, why not? Some form of it, I'm sure. So, some of you said cellar. Are you talking about this room where
The larder.
the one underground or the one above ground? Because there's the small 10-foot square room downstairs that could probably hold 4 of you, and it's the room that you guys that Fate is in with the cauldron and everything.
Is it 10 square feet?
10-foot square.
Why can't it hold all of us?
10
Packed in
by
tight.
10, but because that's four squares, that's 4 players.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
Okay. If there's not enough room for us down there, then what we should do is we should do our best to cover up any light that might come through the cracks. Are there any windows in this larder room?
This room that you're currently in
Or-
has no windows at all. The closest window would actually be on the other side of the door out in the actual main hall in the tavern. That's why they felt comfortable letting the coals glow under this cauldron, because it would be very unlikely for enough light to escape from here unless you had like torches going and stuff.
All right. It doesn't seem like any light is coming into this back room. If these coals can be lit and there's no danger, then this might be a safe room for us to just stay in overnight.
Sure agrees. She's gonna stick her head out there and ask Roland to follow us.
He is currently passed out, face down on the bar, like sitting on the bar stool, just kind of passed out.
Oh, great. Well, then Petra's gonna walk back out here and say, "Hey, Stony, can you help me drag Roland into the back room?"
Oh, sure thing, bud.
We're gonna attempt to do that together.
It's easy. The two of you have
Okay.
no problem with it. Roland is a big man, but the two of you are able to handle him.
Great.
All right.
That was organic and easy. Petra didn't even have to like manipulate what a normal question to ask.
Stony sees is a bit crowded up above, so he's gonna sleep in the larder.
All right. So you guys are taking a rest then?
Yeah.
Yes.
How long you guys
preferably
wanted to
like a-
chill?
We're working that night shift, so
Petra volunteers to stand watch. She doesn't need a rest.
So I guess, when do you guys want to fast forward to?
Nightfall.
The next, like sunset, the next day.
Like right after sunset.
Yeah, after.
Perfect. So then let me take...
What's the vote, everyone? Anyone disagree?
No, that sounds perfect.
Let me just send these somewhere so I can use them later if we need.
So what's that, like 12 hours?
Somewhere in the order of 12 hours. And so during that time, of course, Roland comes to, hungover, very unhappy. What happened? Oh, I had the worst dream, and you were there, and you were there, and Esme died, and Misi died, and Simi died. Did that really happen?
oh yeah, bud.
Oh yeah, bud.
They were good folk. And he grabs another mug and goes over to the nearest keg and starts filling it up.
Petra's gonna follow him and ask if he thinks that's such a great idea, because we might need his insight.
Well, what else can I do? Everyone's dying. I can't even go outside without risk of dying. I've lost my whole family. The mayor is gone. Esme, Simi, and Misi are gone. What do you want from me? That's all I have left.
I agree.
To attempt
Let's
to
have drinks.
persuade him to be calm by reassuring him that she understands that what he's going through must be really hard, probably harder than anything that she's ever endured. Can I try to persuade him to
Go
be
for it.
calm and cooperative? She's pretty persuasive.
With an 18, thank you for your understanding. You're right, it has been hard. I just don't know what I can do. I don't know how I can help. These people look to me, and pretty soon there will be no one left to look to me. You know?
I totally know how hard it is not to have anyone looking at you.
It's not really what I meant, but
I know.
I understand, or I appreciate your attempt.
Making a joke about Petra being vain. She's not that
Oh,
vain.
tracking.
Um, Okay.
Bet you think this game
Does
is
anybody
about
else-
you, don't you?
Does anybody else want a health potion? Does anybody else have 25 gold?
Jaina,
Is
raise her
everyone-
hand. I have 25 gold.
Oh, fabulous. I hand off the one potion and I continue crafting.
She hands you 25 gold. Anybody need one of these?
One of what?
That's-
Gold?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Emmy made it. Or Emil made it.
The potions.
What got?
Tony's good now.
Okay, I'll just hold on to it. And she
I
just
don't-
puts
What?
it in
You
her
want
bag.
some good?
I don't. What are we?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
What are we?
I made.
Brandon's
health
giving us
potions.
free health potions by letting our
Oh.
NPC buy them for us.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, I
I'll
could
take one.
a few.
Then what are we doing?
I have no idea what you're
okay.
doing.
I think our plan is that we were waiting for it to be like pitch dark outside, but earlier in the night, so it wasn't like an hour until dawn, so that we can go outside
Okay, so
without
let's-
torches and investigate what's going on out there.
Can we
Wait.
go do that then?
Can Petra vibe check the moon? What phase of the moon is it?
Okay.
It's bright because the night before it was very bright out.
Oh man.
It is
Yeah.
currently a waning gibbous, nearing full.
All right.
Shit.
Yeah, so they don't have the people that were walking didn't have any fire or sources of light, and it was bright enough out that you guys could kind of see where you were walking as you were walking up the path.
Right. Well, Petra has dark vision. So
Point to
that's
Emil.
meaningless to her.
Okay. I think what we need to do is we have no idea what this is. Trying to attract it is only going to be a danger to us. So what we need to do is do some proper investigation moving forward. The only thing that I can think of right now is to go look at what maybe the friar had. And actually, has anybody asked Roland how this all started? Like what the first event was? And then
The rumble.
The rumble?
The quake. Yeah. That's
The
what
quake.
Petra was gonna ask Roland. That's why she didn't want him to get shit-faced yet, is because she was gonna ask him for like a more detailed rundown of everything that's gone on here, because she wants to try and compare it to any kind of like history that she might know. She's pretty well versed in history, so she wants to try and compare it and see if she knows of any comparable events within the Empire.
Well, 3 weeks ago there was a caravan that came through from the north, headed I don't know where. It was great. It was delightful. They were pleasant people. And as the night that they left, there was a quake, rumbling. A couple of small buildings took a little bit of damage. One of our boats was destroyed in a large wave. Several trees fell. We didn't know what it was, but we thought it was lucky because some large trees fell that would save us several days and help us make our quota. But that next morning, when Tim and John went out to get the logs, we were watching them be torn to ribbons. All morning, massacre. Quickly, people learned to hide inside, cover their windows. Because if you didn't, they found you.
Did it kill animals?
No.
I'm fairly sure about that.
Where
Where
are
are the
your
pigs at?
animals?
Not that we've
Where
seen.
are animals?
Where are the animals at?
Several of them are down in the stables. We keep most of our animals in or near the stables. But for our other animals, we have very few. Each homestead usually has an animal or two. Most of the food we get is through trading, though.
Right, but like, don't you have like birds? And
Typically, the forest is full of them.
so, where have they gone?
Is there a lot
I
of
don't know.
cats in this village?
I can't say we've had many cats through here.
Well, a lot of rats.
Not so much. There's usually enough hawks and stuff in the area that keeps the rodent population low.
Do you have any camels?
Camel.
Mules. Do you have mules?
I think mules would be
Oh.
a good choice. Stone.
Yeah, in the stable we have a few asses.
I can disguise as a animal and go check something out.
Okay.
What? No, that was to the group. That was not to you.
That's
I like
Stony.
that idea,
That's
Stony.
brilliant, Petra
Um,
remarks, and very brave of you.
I am Stony in his idiotic sense is positive that it's a human killer, not an animal killer, so he thinks he's going to be perfectly safe.
I would like to juxtapose this with another idea. Being that an ass is of a certain size, could I grapple to the bottom of your belly and then ride with you to ensure your safety
So you want to hold on to
to
his
the
ass?
cemetery?
I
I want to
think
hold
You
on
want to
under
clench
your
onto his
ass.
ass?
I want to clench onto you
you'll
as an
definitely be
ass.
seen if you do that.
That's unfortunate. I'd like to see. Does any of this remind me of any arcanic knowledge that I know?
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Give me an Arcana check.
Thank you.
Petra still
Petra,
wants to
history
compare
check.
this to her history. No.
I can turn to a
Since we're
horse.
at it-
I guess
Oh,
people
she has a
adventure,
headache.
This sounds very novel to both of you. This whole situation leaves you both quite flummoxed. Or
Okay.
flummoxed, pardon me.
As
So-
for
Go ahead.
TBI, Sam,
as
I'm
for
allowed.
Stony.
Hey, I didn't
Stony,
even know
you're
what a
pretty
larder was.
knowledgeable about the comings and goings of the gods of the overworld. Do you have any insight into the
Someone's looking at
religions?
you like you're crazy. Like, what? Who told you that?
All right, Wagat's gonna search his memory and see if he remembers anything from his studies of the occult or anything like religious that he might have insight into.
So go ahead and give me a history check then, since you're digging through your brain bucket.
Not
Well,
like
history.
not,
Oh, go ahead.
not like religion.
Oh, you're trying to do specifically religion stuff? Then yes, I did not hear it well. Yeah, do religion check. Helps if I listen. You remember that there are deities.
Okay, that tracks.
Fate,
Who are you trying to
who are you trying to intimidate?
Myself in the mirror.
You are extremely successful. You are very intimidated by how just attractive you are. Like,
Ooh.
damn, I wish I looked like him.
Fate starts to daydream thinking about what his and Captain Mo's kids would look like.
Petra's
Tashi
inner-
just somehow teleported outside.
Oh, no.
Tashi, what are you up to?
I just, can we go?
I think, is
Can we
Stony
go?
gonna go? I think Stony's going.
Let's
Right?
go.
Petra's
Yeah,
theater kid comes
so-
out and she proposes that we dress ourselves up in like a 2-man costume of a mule so that
No,
we can go
I
alongside.
agree with
just
Petra.
go.
I agree.
Definitely
Petra and I
not,
begin with the costume.
Everyone hold on 1 second. I just want to remind you that you all safely walked through the entire village.
Yeah.
You all
Yeah,
safely
the
walked
three
through the
people
village.
didn't.
But now the
Craft
monster
corner
knows
with
about
Petra.
it.
I'm just saying. You do you. I'm just saying.
Fine. I start going out with Tashi. Tashi, where'd you go?
Petra looks disappointed and throws her supplies down and says, "What happened to craft corner?" But she sullenly gets up and follows the crew.
I would willingly do craft corner. I thought we can pause. You and I, let's hold back and do craft corner.
No,
Let's
and
split
so-
the group.
Petra's pouting now, but still following. Where are we going? Where's everyone? What about
cemetery.
Jaina? What about Jaina?
As soon as my roll
Whoever
20
else
pulls
is-
back up, Jaina will follow.
Okay.
So
Are we
I
all going?
don't need to turn into a horse.
Jaina. So wait, where are we going?
Cemetery.
About
to
midnight walk.
Oh.
to go check out the friar's body.
Do you know where the cemetery is?
I have
We're
no
going
idea,
on a
but I
hot girl
figured
walk.
I would get there faster by just walking
She
around.
pokes her head in. Hey, Roland. Hi. Could you please inform us where the cemetery is? He says, yeah. Go to the end of town there, and he indicates in this direction. It's past all the houses. Says that.
We're all the dead, but Tashi, don't you dare. Oh, god damn
That
it.
It's fine.
Petra-
Where all the dead bodies are?
Well, they're already dead, so you know.
As you guys are coming down, you see a couple people poking their heads out of the doors and then slamming them shut. There's not as much activity as there was last night. There was actually no activity. No one seems to want to be out tonight after They've watched their allies die. As you're coming through here, you see in this direction a small square with a wrought iron fence around it.
Can Petra investigate the
Sure,
fence
Jesus.
to see if there's any fun artistry to it?
Yeah, it's... Go ahead. It's a very basic wrought iron fence. Nothing fancy or schmancy about it.
Okay, Petra casts a vibe check to detect magic, which, by the way, lasts for 10 minutes.
And you detect nothing other than the ring that Emil is carrying. Or was it Emil or was it Tashi?
Tashi has it now.
Tashi's carrying. As you guys enter the cemetery, you see that there are several permanent graves, denoted by or indicated by headstones and grave markers. But there are somewhere near 10, maybe close to a dozen, fresh mounds around. You don't see the body of the friar, so it looks like maybe they had finished interring him, or not.
Always important to keep your mound fresh.
It is
You
important.
never
to keep
know what
your
might
mind
come up.
fresh, especially if you like to hang out with people that like to stuff salami in their mouths.
I'd like to
Always
look
change
around
your
and
underwear.
always change your
What is wrong with this group?
Well,
I'd like
I mean,
to look around and see if I
one,
can
we're all
find out where the
vets.
friar is.
Two, we're all vets. So, what do you want, Jordan?
It's just never fails to shock.
I think there are a couple members of our group that aim to shock.
Aim to please.
What would give you that impression?
And then there's
I
one
don't
who's
know.
completely innocent and says things that are
Oh,
awful,
Jesse
but
is
no one
not
ever knows.
completely fucking innocent.
No, I don't know who told you that about Jesse, but it's a lie.
Let me rephrase.
It's a
I
facade.
think I would say about 30% of the completely, heavily innuendoed things she says, I believe, are incidental.
No.
Mm-mm. No.
No?
That's
Jesse
no.
just
You're
looks-
just assuming
She's
that because she
really
looks
good
so
at-
unassuming.
Yeah, she's really
Alright.
good at playing it off that way.
Apparently my wisdom is really low.
She also
So-
references really raunchy memes under her breath all the time on our broadcast, and it's really funny.
That's true. That is true. All right, Emil, you were trying to do something before we started going off meta.
I'm searching for the body.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Me too.
If you guys want to do a group investigation, you know the rules. We can do that. Everyone who wants to investigate together, go ahead and roll. And
Does Stony
then-
see any wildlife?
Stony,
Oh,
you do
boy.
not.
I am not helping.
Stony got a
That's
Emil.
okay.
7.
So since there are
At
3
all.
of you rolling together, 4 of you investigating together, I'll give you guys a +8 to your investigation. On top of that, we'll take the highest one, which is a 22, so that's a 30. With a 30, you don't find a body, but you do find that one mound seems slightly fresher than the others.
Kind of rude.
Uh,
Sorry.
Well, God, do you want to start to unearth it? Do you
and that would be
need help?
this one
Dig
here.
Oh, make the old man do it. Okay.
You want to dig in the
I see how it is.
fresh mound?
Well, God like
You
scampers
see a little
over
guy
actually
like to
with
dig up
some
graves,
giddiness,
no
and he
offense.
like starts like using his like clawed old fingers to like kind of
Well,
like start
we
sifting
can-
through the
There's
dirt.
a
And you see him
shovel.
like take
There's a shovel in
a
the corner.
fistful of grave dirt and shove it in his pocket, and then he keeps going.
See, we knew you'd like this shit.
It takes you very little time to reach a body because it is a very shallow grave, and you find the body of a human male. Looks to be, you don't have him fully uncovered yet, but as you begin to uncover him, a pale-skinned human male with a shaved top of his head, but some hair around the sides. Looks like he was a little bit heavier set in the jowl. He's wearing a very plain brown robe.
So this is a blacksmith, not Friar Tuck. Can we get Jenna in here too to make sure that we don't?
No, this is the
Oh,
friar.
this is
I
Friar.
feel like
This
I
is
just
Friar.
very
Plain
clearly
brown
described a
robe.
friar.
like literally
Emil?
described Friar
Emil.
Tuck.
I've literally been living under a rock for my entire life, and you're the one. You're the sus one. Petra, you're not doing your job of vibe checking people out here, okay?
Emil, please tell
I'm
me.
calling you
Please
out.
tell me you were just joking, right?
No, absolutely not. I'm
I-
looking
I
at this
described
person
poorly
like,
then.
why? Oh no,
that's the
Emil's
Friar.
not joking. Emmy's joking.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Morgat, that's
Yes.
Friar.
That's the friar. Morgat's gonna like grab like the robe and like lift it up and kind of like smell it a little bit. Does it smell like anything?
Death and dirt,
Okay.
old
What?
blood,
Okay.
and a little bit. Since he was
Smells
tucked,
dead.
it also smells a bit like
Oh,
how do you
God.
describe this?
Bile?
Have you ever smelled perforated bowel?
Yeah.
No.
unfortunately,
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
have.
you
An
smell.
animal.
If you were to take person that had C. diff, or if a person that was very ill, and take their diarrhea and let it sit in the sun for 3 or 4 days,
Oh,
and then mix that with rotten meat and just a dash of formaldehyde, that's what his robes smell like.
They have
okay. I
formaldehyde?
literally run to the corner and throw up.
Does it remind me of anything?
All the salami.
It reminds you of perforated bowel
Okay.
and death.
He's-
And now you faintly
Got
catch
you.
the whiff of slightly digested salami.
Slightly digest. Okay. Wagat's going to like
The
search
vomit's
the
the salami,
pockets
by the way.
and like the sides of the body to look for like any kind of like anything that's like in the pockets, maybe like a book or like anything that like a scroll.
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation.
Tony wants to investigate the wounds.
And he's also gonna check around his neck as well for a anything that might be around his neck.
Well, around his neck you do find a holy symbol. It is a symbol to the god Tyr of justice, worn on a plain braided rope. In his pockets you find a broken quill, a smashed ink pot, and a scroll, but is now soaked in ink.
Do you relay that to anyone? Just curious. Just wondering.
Yeah. As he finds it, that's what God just kind of like says it as he finds it, and then kind of tosses things to the side of the grave, sort of like towards like Fate's direction-ish, like neck in the spot adjacent to him.
And Stony, you said you were checking wounds?
I want to investigate the wounds.
Okay. Give me a medicine check.
Again, I don't know how I have a +6 to this, but I do. Oh, that's 10.
With a 10, you can see that it looks like the wounds across his abdomen were done with something razor sharp. There's very fine lacerations, but they're super deep. Taking his apron, the belly actually is flopped down from the laceration that came right under his chest and goes around the side of his belly, so it flops down when you actually open it up, and you can see the innards. And it looks like he actually died because the internal aorta was severed.
Gross.
Pachi throws up again.
So that's why you don't let the medic be your DM, right?
I'd like to
Yeah.
look at that piece of paper and see if I can see what I can see in all of the inky blackness. See if there's anything legible still.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay, great. Go ahead and yeah, you look at it and it looks like it might have been almost some sort of journal. Like instead of a book, he kept scrolls, because you can see several different dates off to the side in sequential order with entries, but most of it is covered in ink. You can see a word here or there. At the very last entry, you make out just a couple of words. First word being terror, and then it says light a little bit further on. Forest ? And then the last word is hovel that you can make out.
Terrorism. 9/11.
9/11. It was an inside job. Wait, what?
It's just yeah. It's
Jet fuel can't
Family.
melt steel beams.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
this is meta, but could you say those words again?
Terror, light, forest, hovel.
Or
Thank God I didn't write them down.
that was way
I
too
realized
fast. What?
I realized right before you said that I should have written them down.
Terror.
Terror.
Forest, right?
Forest.
In order, they are terror, light, forest, hovel.
Havel.
Hovel,
Uh,
as in
Havel.
Thank you.
Like a backpacker's Havel.
Petra's gonna pick
Like
up
humanoid
that
trees.
amulet of Tyr and compare it to the other amulet of Tyr that she found when we were in the Tomb of the Fallen.
Yeah, so the one you find on this gentleman looks to be newer but of poorer construction, made out of a very cheap metal, possibly some kind of bronze, maybe but it looks like it is newer, very well kept, minus the dirt on it. Looks like it was taken care of and polished regularly, and the braided rope that it's on is actually very well made.
She pockets it.
All right. Quick question.
Stealing from the dead.
So, how long does someone have to be dead before it stops being grave robbery and becomes archaeology?
Yeah.
Great question.
If
About
you're
a
listening
week.
in, go ahead and weigh in the chat. Let us know. Now, you guys, what are we doing?
I am throwing up.
Nice.
Still throwing up.
I feel
Fantastic.
confident that we should go into the forest, that the rest of this was a distraction to keep us from the forest, to try and empty out the town. So we should go into the deep dark woods where there is no light and seek out the hovel.
Boo Grammys, I would agree. Boo Grammys says, depends who's watching, but if there's no witnesses, about a week.
See? They
We
know.
should,
After a week, it
probably-
becomes archaeology? Is that what
No,
Grammy's
if there's
saying?
no
With
witnesses.
no
Yeah.
witnesses.
I actually feel like as long as there are witnesses, at pretty much any time, it could be for like historical or investigative purposes, even if the grave was just dug a day before. I actually think having the witnesses is the most important part.
Interesting.
Hmm.
If there's no witnesses, it definitely seems like you have some kind of sinister motive.
Blue Grammy says they
Yeah.
don't need it, so he insinuates that the dead don't need their things anymore. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Dead don't care.
You can say that out loud if you want.
we need to ask Roland about any hovels he might know about in the area.
Agreed.
Hey, Roland, do you know anything about any Havales anywhere
Roland's
in the
not
area?
Here.
Oh.
I think he's back in
Roland's
the
day
tavern.
drinking. Oh, sorry,
that's
he's
right.
night
He's
drinking. I
drunk.
forgot.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Regular drinking. We call that regular drinking.
Yeah,
That's just drinking.
drinks.
Yep. All right. I guess we go back to the Winchester and ask Roland where some Havales might be.
I offer to carry Tashi and all of their vomity gloriousness. That way they can recoup some energy.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sounds delightful.
Shayna is standing behind Wagat, kind of curiously looking at the body. You can see she's very pale, a little ashen. Looks like she's shaking a little bit. Looks very nervous and uncomfortable, at the same time very curious. And she's like, "Is this what it's like for you always?" To Petra. "Is this the kind of thing you see all the time?"
Okay, like, girl, I have to be kind of real with you. I'm like sort of new to this job. And I was in Intel before, so like to be totally honest, it was mostly just like reading and like decoding and like listening with cups against the wall, stuff like that.
This is horrid. Do people live with this every day? And just kind of
Yeah,
starts to wander away, kind of shaking her
you live
head,
like
just
this?
thinking.
Stay close to the group, or else you'll become that too. Come on.
And she looks up. "Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you so much."
Feel free to throw up if you need to. Like, no judgment.
Thank you. I appreciate your solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you turn to project that to her, like say that, or
Yeah.
are you just like screaming it into the back of my skull? Like, you're fine.
No, like I'm screaming it like right next to your ear
That checks
at
out.
her. Like, as far back as she is.
I'm trying to keep up. Roll 20 is not cooperating.
Yeah, it's been a little glitchy as hell for me too. But that's
And
okay.
every time I want to move, I gotta pan and then move and then pan and then move.
Yeah.
You can make your map smaller.
As you
I
guys
tried. It
As you guys come through the square, you see those 3 bodies are still laying there. No one's touched them.
I'm gonna put a new torch on one of them, just in case. I'm gonna move Rope Fella a little further back.
This one here?
Yeah, I'm gonna move him back so then we don't get light in our little hidey hole.
Back maybe like 40-ish feet. I would
Yeah.
recommend.
You're not lighting the torch though, right?
Isn't the torch still lit?
No,
no, it's been all day.
you guys were there all night, so I did not.
Oh.
The torch is
Oh,
definitely
that's right.
down.
So
All right.
we get 50 feet. I can make that happen.
Hey, Roland.
Huh.
Where are your hovels at?
My hovels?
Your hovels.
Hovel. There's no hovels in this town. We pride ourselves on caring for one another. Ever since the new emperor stepped in and we've received better resources and better compensation, we've been able to really build this village up.
Petra carefully eyeballs Jaina as Roland is talking about the Emperor and his good deeds. Do I notice anything weird about her behavior? I work in intel.
No, she
You
still
just see a
seems to
dead
be
body, so
she still
she's gonna
seems to
be
be
thinking about her
completely
father?
distraught and disturbed by the dead body and the thoughts that
Maniac.
people live like this all the time.
So, at any
Sheltered.
point in time, were there hovels somewhere nearby?
I mean, there's the old man's hut.
The old man's
Man's hut.
That doesn't sound tricksy at all. Where's that at?
So it's
About that.
a
shaking.
destroyed old building that is out in the woods. It's a story we told the children to keep them out of the woods at night. That there was an old man that lived in this hut, and that if they went into the woods at night, he would take them and eat their toes. It's a silly thing, but it
My
worked.
toes.
I don't know. Somebody's aunt's great aunt's uncle, I don't know, came up with a story and it terrified the children. It's a little more gruesome than that. There's slow taking off of the toenails and then the ripping off of the flesh and the severing of the
Please
bones. And,
stop.
but-
Could you?
Understood.
Sorry, I'm
oh,
not
yeah,
feeling
sorry,
too hot.
sorry.
Yeah,
And you can
Um,
see his eyes are a little glassy. He's definitely been drinking.
yeah. So which direction is that hovel
Oh.
in the woods?
Well,
The old man's hut.
he indicates that direction. When the road
Oh,
ends,
sorry, do
you'll
it
see a
again?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because I'm on the GM screen. Sorry. He points that way. He's like, you follow the road to the end, and it terminates in a path, and the path leads through the woods to the hut. No one lives there. No one goes out there. I mean, every once in a while, if we're out logging and we need a place to take lunch, we might sit in there to get away from the sun, but it's nothing
Yeah,
special.
just walk away as he's still talking.
And he just keeps talking about logging.
Yeah.
I remember this one time we were logging. There's a lot of different ways you can
Come on,
log.
guys.
There's big trees, small trees, big saws, small saws,
I'd
round
like to
saws,
ask him
square
why
saws,
they
hand
kept
saws,
the
hack
children
saws.
away.
I don't think he's going to answer you right now.
I'm
Hun.
sorry.
He's gonna
sorry,
follow
what?
Tashi out.
Maybe.
Why
we
did
need
he
to
feel
give
the
him-
need to keep the children away from that area?
Forests are dangerous at night. Duh.
Because of why?
Would you let your children just wander the forest at night? There's bears and lions
Okay,
and
there are
tigers
bears.
and I don't even know.
So
Lions?
you do
Why
have
you have
do have
tigers?
bears.
Maybe.
Yeah, you. Well,
What do you mean? Maybe. What is?
I don't
you
know.
said no bears. You
I never
said
said no
livestock in
bears.
the farms, and you said birds and stuff. Never.
Never
You know what?
said
Let's
no
let's get
bears.
out of here. Come on.
We
come on.
said.
Can Petra vibe check the moon to see roughly what time it is?
Early in the night.
Okay, good.
Beautiful.
Phew, just want to make sure that we still got time.
That was a very quick excavation project that we got.
I can
did for us.
imagine
No,
it
that
wouldn't
was
have taken
very
more than-
efficient.
I can imagine it wouldn't taken more than an hour to dig up somebody in a shallow grave.
Especially with what got.
Yeah.
Um,
That was like a powerhouse.
Those long fingers. Got it
Yeah.
going on.
mhm. All right.
When you watch him dig up a grave, a fresh grave, you can't tell the difference between him and a ghoul.
It's immediately what I was
frustrating.
thinking whenever you said the long clawed fingers. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, bald head, pointed ears.
So it's
Did we find the path here then?
Pale, deathly
yes,
looking.
Boo Grammy. Somebody's great aunt's uncle was a freak.
I was
Yes,
about
you
to say the
find the
same
path.
thing.
You find the path, and it leads through the woods. And
It's a sex dungeon.
as you
It's a Shake and Shack.
Yep.
as you
I
start
love Shack.
as you start to
Love
as you
As you
enter
start-
the woods,
as you start-
Sam, kiss my ass.
Hush,
I deserve
hush. We
that.
have 7 minutes left. They're counting
enter-
down.
As you enter the woods, it's again the silence is oppressive. It's weighing on you. There are no sounds around. The only light is coming from the sun and maybe a couple of fireflies in the distance, flitting through the trees. Other than that, nothing. The trees are towering above you, 30, 40, 50 feet tall, great oaks, some birch trees mixed in. The path before you looks like it's actually very well worn. You can see drag marks where trees have been carried through over generations. Very well packed. And it's recessed into the ground maybe 2 or 3 feet. And up on the edges, if you go up those 2 or 3 feet, just goes out into the forest. But it looks like over the last days or weeks, the path hasn't been traveled as much. There's detritus and debris along the trail. As you guys are moving through and going farther and farther into the forest, the trees get tall enough that they even start to block out the moon. So it's just little shafts of light shining down, little bright shafts.
Stoney's going to turn to a cat, and
You're-
he's going to scout ahead.
Okay. How far ahead are you going, Stoney?
Pretty damn far, I think. Probably like 60, 80 feet.
Do we have a map for this, by the way?
Not just for the trail, no.
Okay, perfect.
As you
I got dark vision. He's extra stealthy. So.
as you start racing ahead of the group, you find yourself out of sight of them fairly quickly with your little cat paws. And after maybe a quarter mile, you see a faint green glow up ahead. There's light ahead in the forest.
Okay.
Is there a tree nearby?
Nobody
They're-
go rushing
You're in the middle of the. Well, this is just Stony that sees this, and yes, there are many trees nearby. You're in a forest.
Also, our
So tempted to call out.
commander is with a heron right now. I don't have
Yeah.
to obey you. So
Yeah.
Petra points out once again that since no one would accept the talking stick and its talking stick authority, that we never got the chance to vote on whether or not Rufus was in charge, so we don't actually have anyone officially in charge.
Stoney's going to creep through the brush, all cat-like.
Meow.
Try to get a closer look to see what's going on
Can
there.
you go ahead and roll a stealth check?
As a cat,
Yep.
I have
I'll give you
a
advantage.
+4 spell. Okay. I have a +4, so let me just roll a regular old 20 here.
maybe.
I'm working. I can't roll. My thing broke, and I don't know how to fix it.
Mhm.
Okay, one was a 20 +4 for advantage, so
Yep. I
24.
see that. It's a pretty. Well, your other one was a 33. It said.
It was a third.
Holy
that was
shit.
combined. That
Oh,
was
okay.
combined.
That
I
was
just rolled
combined.
2.
Got it. Oh, yeah, it's 24. You were moving through the brush quietly
Like
as a
a cat.
stalking cat. You get closer and you see what I'm about to show you, minus the people's tokens, because obviously they are behind you.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Let me just.
So each
Okay,
of
so it's,
these is maybe 3 feet in diameter, 2 feet high, and a steel cage that's open on top. And that's what is emitting the green light. There's a green flame inside. There's also some very bright torches.
Staying out of the light for sure.
Yeah, very bright torches all around. The area itself is fairly brightly lit. In the center, you see this structure. It is a worn down building, couple holes in its thatch roof. The walls were once sturdy construction, and they're not by any way dilapidated or falling down, but they're definitely not well maintained. There's a couple of holes in the plaster. This structure here looks like it was put up way later and way with a lot less effort and care. It's kind of like some kind of outbuilding made of just scraps of wood. And then you see over here, it looks like a fenced-in garden.
Okay. How long did it take me to get this far ahead, do you think?
Probably about 7 minutes. I think you could
Okay.
do a quarter mile in 7 minutes, no problem.
Okay. Do I see any sign of life or any, like, anything?
No. Except for, again,
I'm
the
gonna wait.
occasional firefly in the trees. But that's about it. No animals, no chirping insects, no noise.
No, like footprints or anything?
You don't see any fresh footprints. Roll investigation, actually. See if you can see anything
Or-
from there.
Or survival, because that's like a survival skill, tracking.
Oh wait, it would be tracking. Yeah.
Hashtag let's argue with the DM on what he dictates the roll to be.
No, I'm gonna. If you were specifically looking to track something and you were following tracks, I would have done that. But since you just said you're
Okay.
looking around to see if there are any footprints,
Sorry, Jordan.
Hopefully,
Can you
I
just
see those
repeat what you
well-worn
just
trails.
said?
He's
people,
growing.
things.
He's growing. Don't
it's-
fight it.
it's character development, Sam.
Uh-huh.
So Hunter, can I see that?
Oh, 19 for survival.
thank
Or
you.
for, sorry, for investigation.
Okay,
Investigation. 19.
From your vantage
Eight,
point
no.
as a cat, pretty low to the ground, I'm assuming, since you're going through the brush.
What do I smell as a cat?
As a cat, you smell. Strangely, you don't smell normal wood smoke. It smells almost sulfurous. There's a low odor of sulfur through the air, and you do smell the faint hint of a man. But you see no hide nor hair of him or them.
Man flesh.
A human being. I can't say man or woman, but you smell a human being.
Well, I'm going to hang out for like half an hour, see if anything happens, and then report back to the group.
Well, since the rest of the group was still walking forward, they'll definitely reach you in that half hour.
Okay, well, I'm just going to hang out for half an hour, and if I hear them get close, I'll run back and tell them to hold up.
Within far less than a half hour, because it was only a quarter mile, you definitely hear them approaching, unless for some reason y'all stopped. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a profile. Okay, 30 minutes. Quarter mile. Nah,
Hey, that's my joke.
bad joke. Okay.
I'm kidding. Definitely. You can use the bike then.
Thanks.
All right. The rest of you who aren't using the stationary bike to make this quarter mile, you all make it fairly quickly. Within a matter of maybe 5 minutes, you do hear them starting to approach from behind you, Hunter.
Okay, I'm going to run back and be like, and just let them know everything I found. Shift back to human form.
So at this point, I'm assuming you guys are far enough away that you just kind of barely see the clearing ahead of you, or at least the faint glow of green ahead of you. What do you tell them?
I tell them everything I saw, like all the different lights, like all the buildings, the fact I smelt a person, no tracks.
Now, they didn't see anything you saw. You're the only one that
Oh,
saw
I'll
that. So
I'll just try to tell them in as great detail as I can.
Are you still a cat? Are you?
No, I'm not a cat
he's
anymore.
Minerva McGonagall.
Okay, I thought it would be really cool and funny if you were talking to us still in cat
No
form.
longer a cat.
Is
I
it
don't
just-
think I can
Is
speak
it
to you as a
just
cat.
student? Sorry.
I don't think I can speak to you as a cat. But anyways, so I report what I found.
I'm
Well,
gonna blow the fuck out of these green flames. Let's
Why
go.
is it always you three.
it is always those three, and tonight it's us 6. All right, I guess that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, us 7. And next week it'll hopefully be us 8, and that's where we're gonna leave off till we can see all 8 of us next time. Before we leave, though, we want to give a big thanks to Roll20 and D&D Beyond for the virtual tabletops, for the character sheets, the books we get to use, to Sirenscape for the sound sets we've been using, to Twitch and to YouTube for hosting our videos, of course, the University of Washington, the VA, because this wouldn't be possible without you. To our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that are chilling out watching us. You guys rock. Thanks for coming by. Check us out
Slay.
again next Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'd like to just part with saying tonight was great. And I know Juwon would have loved that we were playing a game that he loved. Take a minute to send prayers, thoughts, vibes, whatever you have to give out to his family. And if any of you, this includes our viewers, are struggling with anything hard right now, or this moment in our lives is something you need help with, reach out to me, reach out to one of us. We are here, and we love you guys. And I really appreciate you all being here. And with that, I'd like to say enjoy your evening and have a great long rest.